In this video, I'll be breaking down some clips of Italian actress Monica Bellucci speaking about her relationship to Italy while doing a Romance language comparison between Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese.
L'Italia è la mia terra, è la mia anima, mi sento completamente italiana, le mie figlie parlano italiano come prima lingua, per me era importante che le mie figlie parlassero italiano.
So first, she says, L'Italia è la mia terra, è la mia anima. Italy is my land, it's my soul.
L'Italia è la mia terra, è la mia anima.
In Spanish, Italia es mi tierra, es mi alma. And in Portuguese, a Italia é a minha terra, é a minha alma. Notice how in Spanish, the definite article isn't used in the possessive adjective like it is in Italian and Portuguese. So you wouldn't say, Italia es la mi tierra. Unlike in Spanish, the way you say my in Italian and Portuguese depends on whether the noun is feminine or masculine, as well as whether it's singular or plural. So my land in Italian is la mia terra, and then my soul is la mia anima. La mia is only used here because terra and anima are both feminine singular nouns. Compare that to Spanish, where you would just say mi, regardless of the noun's gender, and also without the definite article. Then she says, mi sento completamente italiana. I feel completely Italian.
Mi sento completamente italiana.
Mi sento from the reflexive verb sentirsi, meaning to feel, just like me siento completamente italiana in Spanish, and mi sinto completamente italiana in Portuguese.
Le mie figlie parlano italiano come prima lingua.
Le mie figlie parlano italiano come prima lingua. My daughters speak Italian as their first language. Figlie means daughters and is the plural of figlia. Notice how, unlike in Spanish and Portuguese where you just add an S to the end of the word to make it plural, in Italian, the plural for feminine nouns like figlia is generally formed by replacing the A with an E. For example, one pizza is una pizza, while two pizzas is due pizze. So earlier, we saw how la mia was used to say my when talking about feminine singular nouns. If you're talking about feminine plural nouns like figlie, you say le mie. So my daughters is le mie figlie. This is as if you were to say las mis hijas in Spanish. But since the definite article isn't used with possessive adjectives in Spanish, you would just say mis hijas, as in mis hijas hablan italiano como primera lengua, or primer idioma. And then in Portuguese, the definite article is optional. So you could either say as minhas filhas, or simply minhas filhas falam italiano como primera lengua. And then in this last clip, she says, per me, era importante che le mie figlie parlassero italiano. For me, it was important that my daughters speak Italian, referring to her daughters who, I believe, were raised mainly in France.
Per me era importante che le mie figlie parlassero italiano.
Now, what she says here is a perfect example of how the subjunctive is used in Romance languages after impersonal expressions like it's important that, it's possible that, it's better that, because the statement that follows it usually expresses some sort of uncertain hypothetical realm. In this example, since her statement was in the imperfect, era importante que, it was important that, the subjunctive of the verb that follows it must also be in the imperfect. This is why she says, era importante che le mie figlie parlassero italiano. Parlassero being the imperfect subjunctive of the verb parlare, to speak, in the third person plural. The same thing goes for Spanish and Portuguese. In Spanish, you would say, era importante que mis hijas hablaran italiano. Hablaran being the imperfect subjunctive of the verb hablar. And then in Portuguese, era importante que as minhas filhas falassem italiano. Falassem from the verb falar. I hope this video gave you a better understanding of some of the similarities and differences between Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. If you enjoyed it, let me know by hitting that like button and subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.